You are watching Minute to Skim It on the Experience, so hello. All right, we've got lots of books to review for you guys today. And Hannah just basically showed up just the number ones and showed them to me, and I was like, oh, we have
just for the indies.
Just for the indies, yeah. I was like, we have got a lot to do. Hey everybody, and welcome to Minute to Skim It. Michael Libby was first in the room, so he's winner chicken dinner. Hey, this is us. I'm Miss Jen.
I'm Hannah.
And you're meeting us on the Experience. This is our review show. We're going to talk about books that are being released tomorrow.
Yep.
Including the never aforementioned one that has Fortnite skins in it, which barely makes it a comic and more like a reason to have a Fortnite skin. But hey, what are you going to do? It's Chaos Comics Week. Yay! We're going to do these reviews with no spoilers. We're just going to give you enough to get you excited about the book and be jazzed. If you want to pick up one of these books, there's still plenty of time to actually connect with your local comic shop, otherwise known as your LCS, by going to comicshoplocator.com and putting in your zip code. Super easy to find out where to find books. Don't be mad at them, by the way. They're right now currently under the first 24 hours of what was surely a phone blitzkrieg from grandmas, memas, parents, grandparents, small children, big children. Everybody that ever played Fortnite has been calling your local comic shop today. Just so that you know, they're going to be like this tomorrow. It's exploded with that chaos. So anyway, we're going to avoid that book like the plague, just because. By the way, the skin is Harley, and when you get all 6 skins, you can combine them to make Batman with armor or something. So anyway, I'm saying this like I know anything about Fortnite. I know that the John Wick skin is boss, and that's all that I know. There you go. That's as cool as I get. All right, Godzilla, Monsters and Protectors is an amazing book from IDW that is quite clearly meant for everyone to be able to read together. So it is very cartoony. It's not like the other series that you've seen from IDW that are Godzilla. And from the point of view of basically a kid who says, by way of introduction, I saved the world from Godzilla. And then starts presenting his story, which is so funny because he never actually gets to the part where Godzilla really shows up. But you see Godzilla, if you know, like from things that have happened in the past with him. There's some big event that happens where a corporation creates a 3D printed island and a new technology that's supposed to provide power to the entire world as it transmits it from said floating island. And says that the generation of this power has minimal effects on the environment. So you can just guess what that means. Because, you know, all corporations that are providing free power to the whole world with the weird waves that could never have implications. Hey, Bob, and hi, Ashton. Welcome. Your turn. Do you have any kaiju?
No, but I got clowns.
Okay, that's good.
So this is number 4 of Haha. And this is, oh gosh, I was trying to remember his name. I can't remember right now. But he's the clown in this issue. And he is doing a kid's party when he suddenly shrinks down and goes inside of a helium-filled balloon. Uh-huh. And
of course.
so we see what's going on with him inside you can see it's a red balloon, you know. This is him in the balloon. And then you also see the kid whose birthday it is and what the rest of his birthday is looking like when, you know, the clown just goes into a balloon and no one believes him when he says so.
Haha, interesting.
Great.
Same creative team as Ice Cream Man, by the way. All right, a highly sought after book by Behemoth that comes out tomorrow is called You Promised Me Darkness. I will tell you that it is a highly sought after book, probably because it's small print run and the interesting storyline that it tells. It is, as best I can tell, from the point of view of one person, but it feels very schizophrenic, and it's so it's about stuff that's happened in the past that is in relation to Halley's Comet. Every time Halley's Comet has come by in the past, babies that are born on that day get some kind of special abilities. Mm-hmm. And so whoever's telling this from their point of view has experienced, you know, many of these occasions. So at its heart, I suppose it's a superhero origin kind of story, but it doesn't feel that way. It's very black and white, like Frank Miller feeling, less square in its art style. But I haven't quite, and it even says on the last page that it doesn't really expect us to understand it because it's a non-linear telling of whatever tale it's trying to tell. So bring your thinking caps on and read it multiple times, I suppose, is the way you're going to have to go about it.
All right. Flash number 769. So in the last issue, Wally was trying to give up his powers. He's like, I just want to be normal. And of course, you know, when you're the one gifted randomly with these powers, it's not always your choice.
No.
So in the last issue, we saw him in prehistoric times. Not sure which. Maybe Jurassic. I don't know. Dinosaurs.
Dinosaur times.
Dinosaur that also had Speed Force powers. Yeah. You would really like that issue for sure. And then
dinosaur.
Okay, yeah, which one? Which one?
Is it the feathery one that's trying to fly into the Speed Force?
No.
No.
If it's not an Archaeopteryx, we don't want to read it.
It was a T-Rex though.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Speed Force with tiny hands.
T-Rex.
Yeah.
I ain't even mad.
Yeah.
Oh, reenact it.
Rawr.
Rawr.
So
You're running mission though. You have to.
Oh man, I saved my mom, but then I messed up all of reality. Rawr. Thank you. This has been a reenactment of Dinosaur Flash.
So
The Oscar.
then we see him flash forward.
Flash forward.
I know. Yeah. Yep. All of the previous title jokes.
Puns.
And puns. Yes. Oh gosh. And we saw him and
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah. So, and that's where it left off. Picks up right as soon as the book ends, it picks exactly right up.
Okay.
So, which is, you know, one of my favorite things, especially for DC books, because it's like you get to see it from the one angle, and then they kind of show you the same thing again from a different angle. The art is fantastic. Pretty much. Oh gosh. Oh, I can't really say much else because
that's all you need to really. I mean, you put out there, you know, Flash Dinosaur. So
yeah, we don't get to
That's
see
all
them
you
in this
need.
issue, but I don't think that's the last that we'll see of the So
You know what I need now? I need a crossover where it's the T-Rex Flash and T-Rex Batman.
right.
Ooh, William was
it.
talking about that frog Thor needs to show up.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Dinosaur of Justice League.
Uh-huh.
I need it. Oh, make it happen.
Yeah. All right. I should have known I was going to love this title, and you guys might miss it if you're not paying attention. So I will tell you right away. Way of X, number 1. You're thinking to yourself, "Oh no, another X-Men tie-in for the Hickman stuff." You won't feel that way when you're done with this book. So this one centers on Nightcrawler. And in the book, it kind of puts out the idea that Nightcrawler has been saying that he feels like, he's a very person that's based in a lot of faith, right? That because of the new resurrection ability that Krakoa affords them, he finds himself at kind of like, for every faith that any of the mutants have, it's felt very weird for a while. Because of that, it's like they're almost like because you have the ability to just kind of make yourself again, but even better. You're just gonna like upgrade yourself to the latest known version of yourself. Because Scarlet Witch, at some point during all of the House and powers, basically took all of the powers away from all the mutants. So the only way for them to get them back is to die and be resurrected. So they all have been waiting for this event that they do in Krakoa, which essentially allows for them to be killed in like a coliseum so that they can be dead and be reincarnated back to the form of them that actually had mutant powers. So this deals a lot with the question of, are you still who you are if you're reincarnated? And that is one of those questions that's an age-old question. Like if you freeze yourself and then put yourself in a new body, is your soul still intact? Those kinds of questions.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like a really deep thinking X-Men book, and you'll love it because it's not just about that specifically. There's a bunch of other conflicts that are going on, of course.
Oh, of course.
It's
Mhm.
X-Men. I would expect nothing less.
Right.
Like there's a doctor that's been put in charge of just about all of the science on the island. Matter of fact, he is the head of every department of the science development on the island. That's never good.
Catwoman.
Woo,
Number
so
30.
pretty. Some Rom V action.
One of 2 that I read this week of Rom V. So the last, at least 5 issues, she's been trying to clean up Alleytown, right? She's, pretty much declared herself queen of Alleytown, but she's got to get rid of the.
Time.
I know, right?
They
But
need
she's
a
got,
commissioner.
right? She's trying to get rid of all of the, crime that's not specifically related to her.
All the rest of it's fine.
She's still Catwoman,
Mm-hmm.
so
William say meow.
And another thing that's been going on since, I don't know if it was like mid-Joker War that this happened. It was kind of all a blur.
Mm-hmm.
But Poison Ivy,
Mhm.
they're still trying to find out where she's at.
Oh, okay.
And we
don't where that
know
is.
you kind of know where she's at. You know she's in a tank somewhere and that they're trying to do stuff.
Mm-hmm. To what end, though?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there's some more information that comes to light in this one. So if you've been reading it and been like, where's Ivy? What's going on? Not the whole thing, because of course not, because,
Mhm.
but, oh, man. So good. So good.
By the way, I had an excellent half-hour interview with Rom V yesterday
Mhm.
on the experience. It's easy to find. We've changed the way we store things for future viewing on the YouTube page. So if you go to the YouTube page, you can actually find it very easily because we're recording everything now as its own broadcast, so it's easier to find and go back and watch than instead of being part of a broadcast day where you have to find the minute that it came on.
Yeah.
So if you just want to watch a half an hour interview with Ron B, super fun. We talked about Catwoman a little bit, but mostly about the mini deaths of the Star.
So good too.
All right, this is Captain Marvel number 28. This one drops a bomb that I didn't know about. So it appears that Captain Marvel and the Sorcerer Supreme had a romantic interlude that I was unaware of. She's been with Falcon for a while. And they just broke up, and there's reasons for it. They actually have addressed that in the books, why that breakup happens. But most recently in Captain Marvel, to catch you up, there's been a new character called Ove, which is the son of Namor, who is very evil. And Captain Marvel has been having these visions of a future in which, because of the decision that she's made to let Ove get away, that he is going to destroy a bunch of things, like in all of her friends. So this is her thinking to herself that because his power strength is magical, that she needs to find a way to get a magical power for herself. So of course she shows up on the doorstep of Stephen Strange. So this is amazing. She has a new costume that shows up in this issue, and it's never a bad thing to pick up an issue with a new costume because it's really good.
All right, Firefly, brand new verse number 2. First one was pretty huge. New crew.
Yep.
Zoe and oh gosh, her daughter.
Oh, I don't remember her daughter's name.
I don't remember either.
I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, Zoe's got a daughter.
Right.
Spoiler.
Well, as we knew it was happening. We just, this one, we see some other characters from the original crew and what's been going on with them. And so the last issue, we are introduced to all of the new crew, and they were working to get a haul, and it was not what they were expecting. I'm going to leave it at that, just in case y'all haven't picked up the first one yet. But we see a lot more of, because it's a very big cliffhanger between 1 and 2. So,
nice.
Yeah.
All right. And Alien number 2.
Yes.
Killer issue. Let's see. In the first issue, you have what's clearly a scientific research satellite that it has what looks like to be a friendly ship docking with it, and it turns out to be kind of like pirates who come and break in. Unclear yet whether they were there for the scientific research that was being done up there, which was of course on aliens. The alpha sample was there. And it kicked at the very end of number 1. It kicked out the safety pod of our main character, and so in this issue, he's made it back down to Earth and is now being approached, of course, as you will, by Weyland-Yutani folks saying, you need to go back up there and take care of the problem. Which in this case, the problem is, and you find this out in the first issue, that his son is the one that was leading this band of brigands. And his son had stolen this guy's still active badge because he was supposed to be retiring. So, yeah. So that's always fun, right? When you get sent back into the heat of battle when you thought you were retired. And it's perfect aliens storytelling.
All right. So the bequest number 2 from Aftershock, where we have pretty much your D&D type group of the characters, not the players. And a door, kind of like, I guess more of a rip in the divide between the two, our reality and their reality.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're in Chicago, and there's dragons that just, in Chicago now. And what would happen if you're an adventurer and you make your way to a modern Earth city, and there's not necessarily as much adventure to do.
Stop and get some deep dish pizza. That's clearly your first stop.
Well, clearly, but
just gotta fight through the dragons first.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do 2 because I think I've got twice as many almost. Feels like nope. You're over here. Never mind. We're good. Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to Los Angeles. This is from a little company called Bliss on Tap Publishing. I believe this is a single shot. It doesn't have a number 1 on it, and it felt like it was pretty complete. Essentially starts out with a non-mystery because you actually see what's going on. It appears that 2 of the characters have, at least in this case, have drugged a young girl, and things went too far, and there is a death involved. And so this is mostly about kind of like the seedy underworld plus the police officers that are trying to figure out what happened. And it appears like you're kind of led to believe at the beginning that maybe this is like a kind of like a one-time occurrence, but it's getting more and more clear as the book goes on that that's not true. So if you like kind of true crime, but this one isn't based on real something that's happened, this one's a good book.
You read Steak as well, the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Long ago.
Yeah. It's been a few months. Mm-hmm. It's going back to monthly after this issue, though, so thankfully we won't have to wait too long. But in the first issue, we've got our main character, Angel, and then her partner in... It's not really vampire slaying.
Mm-mm.
It's more of like a... How would you describe it? In like, it's almost like a police team, kind of.
It does feel like that more.
Right. And in this issue, you find out that that's, pretty much what they're doing. She's a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
She's the youngest one because everybody else is, college or older, trying to train to. They're not really bounty hunters. But it's like a vampire hunters, like you're supposed to capture them alive.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's going through class, and she doesn't want to be in the class, but she is being forced to be in the class. She's like, this is dumb, because they're learning about the biology of vampires and how they're different. And all that, so that way they, know what to do.
If this was a TV show, that bit of information would be the thing that she absolutely needs, but doesn't have when she comes across some kind of weird version of vampire.
Right.
If I was paying attention this week, I might have known what to do.
Right. I don't know if you can read the signs in the background. Probably not, but
no, too small.
These 3 signs are like, I heart vamps, vamps are people. And the other side says, go back to Transylvania and you suck. Get it? Because they're vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So one of the main, other than the vampires, of course, one of the main conflicts is the 2 different groups, the groups of people who don't like vampires and the groups of people who do like vampires. Or, want them to have the rights.
Feel like that would be the way it would be really in society, right?
Right.
People would be like, oh my gosh, vampires are real. Can I date one? Whatever.
Right. Exactly. So,
because we read way too many books when we were young about sparkly ones.
Oh, yeah. They literally have one of the signs is about Twilight. So.
All right. I'm going to try to say this one. This is a Dark Horse Comics that's a tale from the Outerverse. This is Kojikaru the Skinner. Kojikaru the Skinner. I'm not going to be very good about describing this book. I tried really hard to understand what I was reading, so maybe it's because I haven't read any of the Outerverse books before.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's why I give it to you, though, because I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's just a 2-issue series, and it definitely looks like a period piece that takes place during wartime, and involves mystical other things.
Ooh.
So it wasn't that it was a bad book to read. I think I just don't know what the thing is. And it's Mike Mignola, so it's not can't be a bad book.
Right.
So I failed this city. Sorry, in my reading.
Okay. That's okay. No, I'd be like, if you picked this one up, you wouldn't, because you didn't read the first one. So, Jonna and the Unpossible Monsters. So in the first book, we don't even see any of the Unpossible Monsters, and Jonna is barely even in it.
Mm-hmm.
But we see her sister Rainbow, who is searching for her in the first book. And so it picks right up where she's off searching for her sister. And in this issue, we do see some Unpossible Monsters, and we do see some more Jonna, other than, in flashbacks in the first issue. So,
yep.
But I was like, what? No, because cliffhanger. So, and that one's definitely one for kiddos too. So,
all right, I'm about to show you a book that you might not be able to find at your local comic shop, only because this was, I believe, a Kickstarted book that I supported, that they sent me some copies, and I could be completely wrong about that, but it's by Black Cat Publishing, and I adore it. This is Black Cat Chronicles, Grey Friars Cemetery. The book is told from the point of view of this cat, and it has 2 main storylines that are part of it that are part of Scottish lore. So like the second story specifically is based on an actual person who lived and the horrible things that they did. So it's a little bit horror, but mostly because the things that it's talking about are things that are real or have been reported. Mm-hmm. In the case of one of them, that after this horrible person died, anyone that visited the mausoleum where they were buried, they were likely to get attacked or pushed or scratched or those kinds of things. So the thing that I was obsessed with before I was obsessed with true crime TV shows was ghost hunting shows. So
it's true.
It totally appeals to me, and it's really, really well done. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you should go back and read this one, Miss Jen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Mystère, Voodoo Dawn, it's a oversized issue. I'm not going to say it's a one-shot because at the end it says "end?" So, which a lot of these oversized Grim Spotlights have been that way. So I really hope that they do, because it was really good. So Mystère. And I don't know as much about her background. I'm gonna have to talk to Jenna later, because
she's got 2 whole trades of her own, and she shows up in the main storyline, the original main storyline, and in the newer storyline too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she's kind of a really key background player. She's so much fun. I absolutely love her.
Yeah. So she's got what they're called, Loa.
The Loa.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so she's got powers from and so. Oh goodness, the other character's name I think is Domingo, and he was a voodoo. What are they called?
Priest?
Which probably
the
either priest or
I don't really know his exact term, but he had powers from two Loa, and was trying to take control of more.
Mm-hmm. Practitioner, that's the word.
That's it.
Practitioner.
And
she got it.
She's got to stop that from happening.
Clearly.
Well, clearly. To me, Loa in the world is bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so Locust, I don't have to spend too much time describing to you, other than it's amazing. It has a little bit of the feel of the very early episodes of The Walking Dead, where it was just Rick walking around in the city and him trying to figure out what was going on. Has a little bit of backstory, so this jumps back and forth between two time periods, in which is one is pre-pandemic and one is post. So, and the pandemic itself is very unique. You should be able to guess by the name of the book, and looking at the back cover, what the disease does to the people it affects. So it's not, you haven't read anything like it before, other than the genre of pandemic, post-apocalyptic is true. Really, really good. Yeah. It's zombie bugs.
I knew it. That's why I did the num num. I was like, it turns him into locusts, right? Where you're just like,
All right, so I did this one from Scout. It's a Scoot Ashcan, The Misadventurers. Oh goodness, I can't remember their names now, but he's a wizard and she's like maybe a paladin, maybe a barbarian, maybe just a fighter, I'm not sure. But this is totally a kid's book. It wasn't originally going to be a kid's book. That actually tells the story of how they came up with this on the back.
Oh, cool.
So that's what I love about it, because I was like, I like knowing how they came up with the ideas and how, you know, if it wasn't originally going to be a kid's book, you know, why they decided to make it a kid's book, and it tells you. But they are, oh gosh, they're probably like preteens, maybe.
Okay.
And they're unlikely companions.
They look super, like, what is that cartoon style? Is there another cartoon that's out there that has that kind of really giant-eyed?
I don't know. Like
Steven Universe?
Maybe a little bit
but
Steven
not-
Universe-y.
Maybe.
It kind of looks almost like the flashbacks during that new She-Ra on Netflix. It looks like that.
Yeah, it totally does. But
And-
it's different in the general,
inside?
like the backgrounds and all that. Like the
Okay, everyone, just for a quick reminder, this is Minute to Skim It, which is a review show only. This is a non-sales show. I apologize. You can put it on your local comic shop's wish list, or join me as a local comic shop later if you want to buy some. But right now, just reviewing. This is Frank at Home on the Farm, number 4. I believe this ties the whole show, the whole series together, because otherwise I don't know where they're going from here, because it actually reveals to you what's been going on, because for a long time you have been involved in what looks like someone's PTSD, complete breakdown, as they return from war to their family farm. And it's in this number 2 and number 3 into basically kind of like an animal farm kind of feeling there, where the animals stand up on their hind legs and start talking to him.
Right.
And there's all kinds of crazy stuff that goes on. And this gives you what has actually been going on. So I'm not going to tell you a single thing about this issue, because it will wreck all the coolness for you. Suffice to say, it is not for kids, and it will mess with your brain a little bit. And yeah.
Yeah.
all right. One that I've been waiting on for so long. Unicorn, number 1 from Scoot. So May is maybe like 13, 11, somewhere in there, maybe 12. And her dad is a single dad now, because her mom passed away when she was younger. And they have a farm, and they have chickens, goats, other birds, and they have a horse. And you're not supposed to go near the horse, because he's very, I mean, he's not wild, but he doesn't like anyone other than
unpredictable.
her mom. Yeah. And she finds out something about this horse. That's all I really need to say, right?
I think in the what they've actually done is a tease for it is that under the forelock or Fetlock, sorry. There's what is Stub.
Yes.
The question is it a unicorn or isn't it?
Right.
I don't know why
But why they spell it with a K?
Mhm.
Like it's just,
Yeah, but if it's a horse, he's
oh.
yeah.
All right, we have to speed up. All right, this is Stray Dogs number 3, in which the dogs are still trying to figure out how to remember long enough that they know that their master has likely been the person that killed their masters, and then took them in as like adopted them. I guess the idea is that dogs have short memories for those kinds of things. You don't want to do the news? Okay, fine. We'll go slower then. So they've basically had new dogs enter the house that had at least some kind of object with them that they could like sniff, and it would bring the memory back for them, so that they could. Now they're trying to make plans for. I'll remind you that our current master killed our old master.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. So in this one, they actually find themselves. They smell something under the porch while the master's gone, and find themselves under there and start digging. And he comes back.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Imperiled. They are imperiled. These cuter than all get out dogs. Don't miss the very last pages of the book, because in the letters columns, it's just a huge amount of pictures of doggos. That's all it is. Just doggo pictures.
Oh, well, I mean, they had to have inspiration, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want to send him a picture of my doggo.
I know.
Like his
You should. His
He's
cross-eyed.
cross-eyed.
Yes.
So he has one eye that looks at me here and one eye that's straight. So, and he's just like always like.
Jen, let's do this one together.
Okay. We're going to do the many deaths of the Star by Ron V. That's all.
Yeah.
Philippe Andrade.
Yeah. So this one takes place in Mumbai.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's like current times? It feels like not like in a pandemic, but like.
I mean, it doesn't feel like it's far future or far past. It feels like it could be any day.
Right. And
Stab myself in the eye with my own glasses.
Oh.
I think
Pirate Jen. Arr.
I thought we've already had her.
It's true.
It's time for a new one. Maybe Tombstone Jen.
So the weirdness about this book is that it's mixes a story of a real girl who jumps from a building.
or falls.
They're
not sure.
Yeah, it never really says.
It does not say.
And interspersed with that storyline is a storyline about the goddess of death that's part in
Hindu.
Hindu belief system. They don't call. I thought she was called Shiva, but they just call her Death in this one.
Yeah.
And she does have multiple arms and all that stuff, but she gets called to the head office at her office building where she works as Death, and gets a sitting down and talking tube from her boss, who is a many-faced god. And so these are all.
He's the god of life, right?
No, the god of life shows up later.
Okay.
So anyway, it's funny. It just like presents them as like, if you could have a job, you could be one of these gods have jobs, and they work in a big
Office building.
office building. Yeah.
I would have never imagined just gods, sit down, type in computer, just let me raise the sun.
Yep. So the big thing that sets up the book is that Death gets told that she is going to be let go because there is a prophecy about a child that's going to be born that ends the event of death. So they don't need her anymore. They're going to let her go. Her position's been overwritten by.
Rude.
Yeah.
Rude.
And then she has something to say about that. So that's what the real story is about, what goes on because of this.
Yeah. Rude. I love it. And the art style and all the colors and
yeah, it's just like
it's so pretty.
It's bright and
all right, you go.
All right. Count Draco Knuckle Duster is an ash can. Every office has. Oh, maybe. Count Draco Knuckle Duster is the second book in the series of books that relate to. My brain just broke for who the main guy was. Phantom Star Killer,
Mhm.
which are they themselves characters that were made as spoof toys from a toy company, and they've written
Right.
stories that go along with these fake, like they're supposed to be Star Wars, like
Fake Star Wars characters.
yeah, they're like made up Star Wars, like close to, but not really.
Like so Trek Wars or something like
Yeah.
that.
Like super derpy ones. You guys probably have seen them at Comic-Con, these crazy
Yeah.
characters that they make real action figure holders for them, but they're just like going, so we'll stick it to you, Disney, by making it only closely related to it, but not the actual thing. So in this one, there's a special object that Phantom Star Killer and Count Draco Knuckle Duster both want, and there's a bunch of traitorism in there. So it's just the ash can, so it's just get you all psyched up for the real thing.
I cannot remember all of their names.
You try this all the time, and let people figure that out for themselves. Just say there are 5 people in it.
There's 4 and a dog.
Say there's 5.
What's the dog's name? That's all you need to know.
Go. We have 3 minutes. Go.
So this is Abby, and she is from Florida, and she is arriving at this house where these other 3 girls are, and they're pretty much living in New York City for free if they take take care of the dog.
Fantasy.
And no, it's they're all either visited or written a letter by the person that owns this dog, and there is something maybe pretty clearly on the cover that may have tied them together, just glowing hands or something.
Maybe.
I'm trying not to say too much because Jenna was gonna kill me.
So it's all about that dog.
Show you about glowing hands, I will.
Yeah.
It's all about the dog. All right.
Yoda.
This is Spider-Woman number 11, which I read specifically because it is a great jumping on point. It says on here, and new villains and classic costume. And I will say I've read it, and all of those things exist. It's one of those things that starts out with something mundane, like we're going out to try to have a normal dinner together because we had found someone to watch our child.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jessica Drew does give a lot of chances to go and do that kind of stuff. But so that's the way it starts, and then they sit down at the table, and literally there's like oh no, the windows exploded across the room, and so we got to go out take these
Every time.
brand new bad guys. It was a set of 2 that worked together, and but that's not reason why you want to read this book, because at the end of the book there's a big reveal about something that was supposed to be going on at that dinner that didn't get to because of the exploding windows and the new bad guys.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
All right. TMNT 116. So, Jenica's band, she's trying to get a band together because they're getting together again to battle against Bebop and Rocksteady.
Is that what you always expect from a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles major storyline? A battle of the bands. But the thing is, this is an important battle of bands. Why? What does the winner get?
Well, if Jenica and her team win, Bebop and Rocksteady will leave Mutant Town forever.
Oh.
Forever.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, if Bebop and Rocksteady win, they get to stay.
Jenica's got to take a flying leap. So the stakes are real for this battle of the bands.
Yeah.
Just exactly like it was in Scott Pilgrim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's all on the line.
That's really all. I was very impressed with how they portrayed how different it is for her to play guitar with turtle fingers.
Right. She's only got like 3 fingers now.
Yeah. And they're bigger.
It'll be hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bass would be so much easier, but yeah,
No. That'd be difficult. Get some chords. This is the Old Guard, Tales Through Time, which purports to be right smack dab in between the very first series of the Old Guard and the one that they put out recently. This one fits right in the middle, and it's 2 tales, one of which is specifically addresses the weapon that the main character carries, that cool like battle axe.
Mhm.
It tells you kind of like the history of that as she explains it to somebody else. And the second story is specifically about the relationship of the two male characters who are romantically intertwined, and kind of like puts them in a time in history in which that was not real cool, and shows them have to deal with that.
The ones kept killing each other and then fell in love from killing each other.
That's exactly it.
All right, cool.
Isn't that the way that it works
I
always?
glanced over at the book and I was like, oh my gosh, yes.
They're my favorite.
Alice in Leatherland. So this is Alice. She wants to be an author, and her book is about the lightning bug, or firefly here on the cover.
Oh,
And that she's trying to figure out where she's going to go with the story. But when she finds her girlfriend cheating on her, she's like,
did she find out through an Instagram post? Because that's all there is on news now. It's just like someone got
Nope.
caught on their Instas.
It was in person.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ouch.
But pretended, she's like, I'm just gonna leave. So from the bridge here, she goes to San Francisco with her friend, and decides to start a new life, but all while remaining very, very upbeat, and I love it.
Just was one of these.
She's like, it's fine. I'm fine. Nothing happened.
We're all fine. Fine.
I don't know if that part's necessarily a healthy way to do it.
And her friend was like, oh, well, you don't have a place to stay. You got this. And so she finds somehow magically, it's got to be magically, because, how do you find something within your budget
Right away.
And it's like a dominatrix house.
So that's why the title.
And the
Oh wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
not for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's
I mean, you can probably
fantastic.
tell that from the title, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, there's
Yep.
this, and there's a bunch of really cool books that arrived today as trade paperbacks, including there's a poster book that is coming out that is the Immortal Hulk. It's really neat because Marvel puts out big poster books so that you can tear out the posters. In this case, they always make it so affordable. It's usually like 20 posters in there, and it's $25 is the price point.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of feels like they haven't thought through their own price point very much. But it's really awesome.
Yeah.
We sometimes put our poster books out and say $5 each for the posters. You could buy the whole book for $25, and we sit there and watch people actually think it through. Let's just get the whole poster book, man. You can throw away the ones you won't like.
I only want this one, this one, this one, and this one. I'm like,
You only need 5 of them to make the whole poster book worthwhile. Just find some friends and share the poster book.
Mhm.
There's also a Aliens novel that comes out that's Jenna's, and you can't have it. And
give it to. I have them all. I have them all. I have all the trades. I have all of the mine.
Yeah.
I thought Jen was a new statue.
I thought Jen was the biggest Aliens fan until I met Jenna.
it's so fun.
It's true though.
So fun.
I have the Rhino alien figure that's blue. I love it so much.
Mhm. It is really cool.
So I think Kyle wanted us to draw it out so he doesn't have to do news. So I'm gonna go show you the other trades that are coming out because
They're all right there.
so you guys can be all majorly informed what's going on. There's the Aliens book.
You're gonna hand it.
There's the Aliens book.
I'm gonna hand
It
to
hasn't been
Jenna.
made available.
Jenna.
By the way, this one is a book that don't miss this week. This is called The Way of the Hive. It says experience the life of a honeybee in this coming of age story about a bee named Nuiki.
Nuki?
Nyuki. Nuiki. So that is really cute. I'd love to show you the inside, but I can't show it to you till tomorrow. Nubia, real one is restock. Oh, that's right. We're just now getting all this good stuff in. That's restock, yes.
Death metal, no.
All right. Death Metal Darkest Night.
That's the. I think that one is the crossovers.
Batman Creature
this is the
of the
crossovers.
Night. You can
They're the-
finally get all that put together.
These are the one shots. These
Right.
This collects all the one shots.
Mhm.
Every time I hear Creature of the Night, I think Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm like, Creature of the Night. Creature of the Night. Creature of the Night. Creature of the Night. Da, da, da.
How many different ways can Jenna say Creature of the Night? All of them. All right. Now be paying attention because Dark Horse finally has their omnibus versions of their Avatar books.
Yes.
They've been previously out of print. They used to put them out as 3-part series. You'd have to find all 3 parts. Now they're putting them out as big omnibuses that are $25 versions instead of 3 of them that you have to buy for $11.99. So the math is better.
Mhm.
So don't miss those. They have been selling out immediately after they've come out.
Yeah.
I like thick books and I can't.
That's right. The Rise of Kylo Ren is now in play. So grab those up because you know those aren't going to last. That is restock. There's a new complete collection of Scarlet Witch that enters the fray this week. For all of you that are thinking to yourselves, man, I wish I knew more about what's going on with the Scarlet Witch.
It's so thick.
Yeah, this one. Oh, yeah, this is great. Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking at stuff. Black Widow.
Mhm.
And this one is the one I was most excited about this week.
Oh yeah.
Probably, unless someone buys it this week, I'm going to take it home and read it. This one is Muhammad Ali Kinshasa from 1974. So there you go. You get a really great book. Let me see what kind of style it is. Yeah, it is. It is an actual graphic novel, but that's interspersed with actual photography from his days when he was from this event, which is awesome.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wicked cool. So yeah, I really have started to love buying historical books, graphic novels, because I find myself it's easier to sit and read those than if I was going to pull out a giant thick like just history novel. So a little bit easier. All right. So that is all we have time for today. This is as much as I can do. We've shown you all the things. But do join us every week, the same time. You can put us on your calendar. We're always here on The Experience, rain or shine, whether I'm sick, dying, out of town. Somebody does this. We make sure that this happens for you guys because we think it's the most important thing that we do as a comic book store is read the books so that we can effectively tell people what matches up with the things that they might like, because we don't usually have people come in and ask for a specific thing. They will come in and say, hey, I have been reading or watching this. What do you recommend?
Yep.
And if we're not reading or watching anything that we have back here, we can't do it.
I have customers come in and they're like, oh, I'm new. And I'm like, oh, this is my favorite game. What's your favorite TV show, book, or movie? I got you. There is something for you. It's my favorite game to play.
Yeah. Yep. Or when people come in and say, I don't read comics. I'm just here with, point at other person that's with them. And we were them that we do the same thing. We're like, what are you watching or reading? Because they may not know that there's something that totally is in their wheelhouse. Like people that say, oh, I don't read comic books. I only I like war, like real war stuff. I'm like, well, I've got a whole section of war comic books and trade paperbacks.
We have stuff that's like based on true stories that they got from their grandparents or parents and wrote them down.
I just like art. There's a bunch of graphic novels that deal with specific contemporary and or classical artists. So there's a bunch of stuff out there. There's something for everybody. If you're out and about tomorrow and you're at a loss for where to go and buy your books, like we tell you guys every week, comicshoplocator.com is the perfect place to find it. All you really need is the zip code for where you are, and it'll bring up a bunch of different options. Do call ahead and verify the shop's hours because of COVID. Some of those might have changed, and they might have forgotten to change the information on that site because people usually remember to change their Google and their Yahoo and all the Facebook and all those things, but sometimes they don't forget.
There's something that slips through.
Yeah, there's something. So, all right, everybody, we're going to see you guys next week on The Experience for more Minute to Skim It. Bye, y'all.